Imagine you are in a job interview. The interviewer asks you a question, and you respond with, "Yeah, it was pretty cool. Gonna be honest with you." Or imagine texting your best friend and writing, "I would like to formally express my gratitude for your assistance yesterday." Both situations feel wrong. And that is exactly the point. English is not just one language. It is many versions of the same language, and knowing which version to use, and when to use it, is one of the most important skills a fluent speaker has. Today we are breaking down the real difference between formal and informal English, with real examples you can use immediately. Formal English is the version of the language used in professional, academic, and official situations. You use it when you are writing a job application, when you are speaking in a business meeting, when you are sending an email to someone you do not know personally, when you are writing an essay or academic paper. Formal English has specific characteristics. It uses complete sentences. Nothing is cut short or abbreviated. It avoids contractions. Instead of "I can't" you say "I cannot." Instead of "we're" you say "we are." It uses sophisticated vocabulary. Instead of saying "find out" you say "discover" or "determine." Instead of "help" you might say "assist" or "facilitate." It avoids slang and idioms. No gonna, no wanna, no kind of or sort of. And it is always polite and respectful in tone, even when delivering difficult messages. Think of formal English as putting on a suit. It is not your everyday comfort, but it signals respect, professionalism, and credibility. Informal English is the version you use with people you are comfortable with, friends, family, close colleagues. It is relaxed. It is natural. It is how English actually sounds in real life. Informal English uses contractions freely. I'm, we're, they've, can't, won't, shouldn't. It uses phrasal verbs. Instead of terminate you say end. Instead of investigate you say look into. It uses filler words. You know, like, basically, I mean. It uses slang or words and phrases that change with culture and time. Things like "that's fire," "no cap," "I'm dead," which of course does not mean anyone has actually died. It also uses shorter sentences and sometimes incomplete ones. In a casual conversation, you might just say "sounds good" instead of "that sounds like a good idea to me." Informal English, like wearing your most comfortable clothes at home. It is real, it is human, and it is just as important to master as formal English. Let us look at some real examples, so the difference becomes completely clear. Formal. Could you please provide me with further details regarding this matter? Informal. Can you tell me more about this? Or even more casual, what's the deal with this? Formal. I apologize, but I am afraid I do not quite follow your point. Informal. Sorry, I don't get it. Casual. Wait, what? Formal. I look forward to hearing from you, your earliest convenience. Informal. Talk soon. Casual. Hit me up when you're free. Formal. I completely concur with your assessment. Informal. I totally agree. Casual. Yeah, 100%. Formal. This is an exceptional piece of work. Informal. This is really great. Casual. This is fire. Do you see the pattern? The same idea, expressed in three completely different registers. and a fluent English speaker can move between all three effortlessly. Here is something most English courses never teach you. Between formal and informal, there is a third zone, semi-formal English. This is the most commonly used register in modern professional life. It is professional, but not stiff. It is friendly, but not too casual. You use semi-formal English when emailing a colleague you know well, but are still in a work setting. When speaking in a meeting with people you are comfortable with. When writing a LinkedIn post or professional social media content, semi-formal sounds like this. Hi Sarah, thanks for sending this over. I've had a look and I think it's in great shape. Let me know if you need anything else from my end. It uses contractions, it is warm, but it is still clearly professional. Learning to use semi-formal English well is what separates intermediate learners from advanced ones. It is the sweet spot of modern communication. Now let us talk about the mistakes that learners make when it comes to formal and informal English. Mistake number 1. Being too formal all the time. Some learners think that formal English is always better. So they use stiff, complex language even with friends or in casual settings. The result? They sound robotic and distant. People find it hard to connect with them naturally. Mistake number 2. Being too informal at the wrong time. On the other side, some learners pick up casual English from movies and social media, and then use it everywhere, including in emails to bosses or in job interviews. This can seriously damage their professional image. Mistake number 3. Mixing registers incorrectly. This is the most common mistake. Mixing very formal vocabulary with very casual grammar, or the other way around. For example, I would like to inform you that this project is totally gonna be late. The phrase totally gonna clashes completely with I would like to inform you. It sounds confusing and unpolished. The key is consistency. Pick a register and stay in it for the full conversation or piece of writing. So how do you know which version of English to use in any situation? Ask yourself 3 quick questions. Question 1. Who am I talking to? A boss, a stranger, a client, go formal. A friend, a classmate, a close colleague, go informal or semi-formal. Question 2. What is the setting? A job interview, a business email, an academic paper, formal. A text message, a casual chat, a social media comment, informal. Question 3. What is the purpose? To make a professional impression, formal. To build a personal connection. Informal. To be professional but approachable. Semi-formal. Once you start asking these 3 questions automatically, choosing the right register becomes second nature. Here is the big takeaway from today. Fluency is not just about knowing words and grammar. It is about knowing which words and which grammar to use and when. The most impressive English speakers are not the ones who always sound the most formal. They are the ones who can read the room, shift their language naturally, and make every person they speak to feel comfortable. That is the real power of understanding formal and informal English. Practice both, master both, and never be afraid to switch between them. If this episode helped you see English in a new way, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to English Out Loud for more honest, practical English content every week. See you in the next one.